Hey, welcome back to Heroes and Videos. Do you remember the first back issue run that you ever collected? I mean, way back, like as a kid. Do you remember the first run or first set of back issues that you really went about trying to collect and put together a run? Well, I remember mine, and it was Fantastic Four. And today we're going to look at that run. We're going to look at some of the oldest Fantastic Four comics I have in my collection, and they constitute a back issue run, very small run, but a back issue run that I started collecting in the early to mid 1970s. So come along for a little history trip with me. Would love to have you click the like button if you enjoy the video. With no further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to do this in reverse order, not sequentially, but we're going to start high and work back. One of the last comics in here, I was surprised to find out was actually the second appearance of a really famous Silver Age hero. I didn't know at the time when I picked it up, and it's the one that breaks the rule that it's not one that I got until more recently. But here we go. First up, Fantastic Four 32, the end of my mini run, but the first one we're going to start with today. Who or what is the Invincible Man? Or who is the Invincible Man? Give you a major hint. This is the first appearance of Franklin Storm, Sue and Johnny's dad. So may or may not be related to the Invincible Man. And the headline there doesn't bode well for any of the above. But this is Fantastic Four 32. You'll notice some of these books are going to be in terrible shape. They're in the shape that I bought them in 50 years ago, right? Or almost 50 years ago, I guess. Next up, little break in the run. To this day, I don't have 31, but here is Fantastic Four 30. First appearance of Diablo. Diablo, I was a big Diablo fan as a kid, maybe because I had his first appearance. This one's in pretty good shape. It's again, Johnny and Reed, all four on the cover here. Looks like he's maybe granted Ben Grimm's wish there, turning him human. But this one, Fantastic Four 30, got a great place in my heart simply because I had collected it 50 plus years ago as a kid. When you're a kid, I mean, nowadays a comic book that's 8 or 10 years old doesn't seem like that big a deal. But think back to when you're like 12 or 13. Something that's 8 or 10 years old is almost your whole lifetime. So this was pretty thrilling being able to find these books. And again, comic books weren't all over the place, or comic book shops weren't all over the place. It was rare to be able to find these books. So when in trying to establish this little mini run was kind of a big deal for 12 or 13-year-old me. Next up in the countdown is Fantastic Four 29. This book is in worse shape than probably any other comic I own. It is though, again, in the shape in which I bought it. Somebody was a real fan of The Thing there. You'll notice they actually cut him out of the cover. I guess they really liked The Thing. That probably ended up scotch tape on somebody's dresser somewhere before stickers were a thing. They also bedazzled the cover, and the headline there, it started on Yancey Street. They all have these little stars on them. Wasn't me. And then, of course, some more cutouts on it. Terrible shape, but again, has a special place in my heart because I picked it up in a back issue bin when I was much younger. This one as well, Fantastic Four 28. This one's in really good shape, honestly, except for somebody that Quinn that has grafted above the title there. Fantastic Four and the X-Men teaming up against the Man Thinker and the Puppet Master. I don't know, that seems like a bit of overkill, but I picked this up in back issue bins long before new X-Men were a thing. So it's just the fact that we had the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. The book was in incredible shape then as now. But just and that Man Thinker Puppet Master team up. Found it interesting that I always thought the first time they got together was Fantastic Four 100, but here they are teaming up in Fantastic Four 28. So just a beautiful book. That thing just presents well. It's just really nice, and I'm kind of pleased with myself that I found something like that many, many years ago. On the other hand, Fantastic Four 27, which I also found many years ago, this one is not in great shape. Wasn't then, isn't now. The Search for the Submariner with Doctor Strange colored green in the background. Maybe he's in his astral form. I honestly don't remember. at this point. But you know, the heroes just love that cover. But again, and I love the colors on this. If you can find a better copy, it's much, you know, it's much brighter. It just jumps out at you. This copy's a little faded and in pretty bad shape, but again, means a lot to me simply because I picked it up way back in the day at a comic shop, probably only 10 or 12 years after it came out. This is the one exception to the rule here. This one I did not pick up as a kid. This one I picked up a number of years ago, but not that many years ago. Fantastic Four 26. This is the second half of a two-parter with the Hulk and the Thing battling. And in this issue, as you can see, the Avengers take over. The Avengers there on the cover battling the Hulk. Just a great story, and you know, just a wonderful battle. You notice Captain America's shield is flat there on the cover. It's drawn flat throughout most of this book, so I'm not sure what was going on there. But this is the Silver Age second appearance I was talking about. This is apparently Captain America's second appearance in the Silver Age. It takes place after Avengers 4, which was, of course, his first appearance in the Silver Age. So I didn't know that when I bought the book. It's just kind of a cool bonus because I'm a big Captain America fan too. And it is just nice that that was a nice little side thing here. It's also interesting reading the book in terms of which hero or pair of heroes actually run the Hulk off at the end of the book. And I'll give you a bit of a hint. They're not the biggest characters in these two lineups. That should be all the clue that you need. Just a great book, and the second half of a two-parter that starts with number 25. This Fantastic Four 25 is the first comic book I ever purchased at a comic convention, and it was way back in the early 70s. Again, apologize for the shape it's in, but also don't apologize for the shape it's in, because this is the shape it was in when I bought it 50 years ago, a little more than 50 years ago. But we were coming back from vacation, and my dad, would stop at a Holiday Inn or in the area, and he had learned, kind of weird to think how he learned, this is pre-internet, how he learned, there's a comic convention there. And so he let me loose in that for a bit, said, I think I had a half an hour or an hour or something. It wasn't much time. I don't even think you had to pay to get in, honestly, back then. But I had $2.50 that he gave me that I could spend, and this was it. I picked up this Fantastic Four 25. I love that cover. It's just so incredible. The other three of the heroes in the background seemingly defeated. The Hulk towering over the Thing. The Thing is always at his best when blue-eyed Benjamin J. Grimm is an underdog, and he certainly is in this matchup. That was some of the secret sauce between those characters and their conflicts. First half of the storyline we just saw in 26. And yeah, special place in my heart from being not just the first comic I picked up at a convention, but also the oldest comic that I owned at that time, and probably started me down the road for all this wonderful comic collecting that I've been doing ever since. So Fantastic Four 25, oldest Fantastic Four in my collection, and first one in that little mini run. So would love to hear from you all in the comments about what was your first run. What was the run you first remember as a kid going and getting in back issues for? It doesn't have to be a big run like that one was, just 5 or 6 or 7 issues there, but just means a whole lot to me, as I'm sure your first run meant to you. Let me know. I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel, hit notifications so you find out when we drop new videos. In the meantime, keep reading comics, keep going to see movies, and be kind to each other.